Well, it was an emotional scene at Joint Base Andrews just before midnight last night as 3 American citizens finally returned to U.S. soil after being detained in Russia. Among them was New Jersey native and Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich, who spent 491 days in Russian detention, falsely accused and convicted of espionage by Russian authorities. The 2 other Americans released were retired Marine Paul Whelan and journalist Alsu Kurmasheva. The 3 Americans were greeted by President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris when they stepped off the plane. This moment thanks in large part to the continued cries from family members urging U.S. officials to bring their loved ones home. And it culminated in this moment last night, a joyful reunion between Evan and his parents. Their release was the result of a massive prisoner exchange involving Russia, the United States, and 5 other countries, and a total of 24 adults and 2 kids exchanged. By some accounts, the largest swap in history between these countries. And watching from home were 2 of Evan's closest friends who've remained steadfast in their support of him over the last 16 months, Michael Van Italy and Jeremy Burke, and they join me now. Jeremy, Michael, so great to have you both on the show tonight. Jeremy, I want to start with you. Just describe the moment last night when you saw Evan step off the plane, greet his family, lift her mom off her feet. What was that moment like?
Yeah, I was smiling from ear to ear. I think elation was the emotion that we felt the most, and also some tears. I mean, it's been quite an emotional year, 16 months leading up to that moment, but just, seeing him get off the flight, embrace the vice president, and then lift his mom, like literally sweep his mom off his feet was a fantastic moment, and I'll relive that for the rest of my life.
Michael, I see you smiling. What was it like for you?
It was so amazing. It was just the most incredible moment. I was with friends watching together, and we were all cheering and clapping and crying. It was just so amazing to see him on American soil, and see him hugging the vice president and president and his family. Just amazing.
There was just a steadfastness in his presence that I saw that I thought was remarkable. Jeremy, as I understand it, you haven't yet spoken to him, but you have been in touch with the family. What are you hearing from them?
Yeah, they are super thrilled, and I think they're just sort of managing everything right now. Us as a group of friends, myself and Mike and everyone else, are really letting Evan take the lead and his family take the lead. But I had the chance to have a brief text exchange with his sister Danielle last night, and they're over the moon. They're thrilled, as you could imagine, that she has her little brother, Evan's parents have their son back home safe on U.S. soil. So we're giving them the day to sort of recuperate, catch up with each other, and then, we cannot wait to see him.
Michael, what will you do? What will you say when you do see Evan?
Just give him a huge hug, and I don't know. I just want to tell him how much I love him and how happy I am that he's home. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I just can't wait to see him and be in his presence again and just put this all behind us.
Jeremy, are you reading into what you've seen so far from Evan? I mean, you've communicated with him throughout. You've come on our show to talk about those communications and how he has remained strong through this process. Do you have a sense of how he's doing right now, even just from watching his body language?
Yeah, he's incredible. I mean, there's only so much you can intuit from watching someone through, a live feed. But look, like as soon as he got off the plane, he kind of did this to the vice president, which is so Evan. We saw him walk over to the press and he was chit-chatting up a storm, which is his favorite activity. I would say it's his passion in life, to the point where it looked like his parents had to pull him away to get into the car and go to the hotel. So look, he looked great. We can't wait to see him. And he'll have enough words for both of us. So I will let him do the lead and let him do the talking. But he looked awesome, and it was thrilling to see that.
Michael, we saw some sound, probably the only sound I think that he's offered yet, to a reporter from the tarmac, already talking about some of the other political prisoners that he sat alongside. Just given, obviously we're speculating here, but given what you know about him and the fact that that's some of the first things that he came off the plane talking about, do you anticipate this becoming a point of advocacy for him moving forward?
Yeah, absolutely. And I was just about to mention that in relation to sort of how well he's done and sort of what you said about him being composed. We don't want to assume too much about his state, but I think it's a great sign that he's basically already talking about a story, talking about reporting again about Russia, about these political prisoners that he wants to share their story. What he was saying is that that no one knows about them, no one's talking about them, and we should be talking about them. So yeah, and then the tidbit in the Wall Street Journal article about him asking Putin for an interview, I think is also incredibly evident and just shows how passionate he is about his work and how, seems like he is excited to get right back to it.
Yeah, we're going to talk to Wall Street Journal assistant editor Paul Beckett after this conversation. We're going to bring that up. But Jeremy, just as a journalist yourself, have you communicated with Evan throughout this process about how this is perhaps going to change his journalism? Is he going to be able to cover Russia in any meaningful way anymore? That seems highly doubtful. Has this changed him? Has this changed his journalistic approach?
Yeah, look, I mean, we've had a lot of conversations about that, and I think, his access to the country is certainly going to be different moving forward. However, even beyond his career aspirations or my own career aspirations, like we're just really happy to have him home, and we're really taking it one step at a time. That being said, I think it was certainly amazing and speaks to who he is and his character that the first thing he told the press when he got off the flight was, "What about the other political prisoners in Russia," right? And I think that's something that taking Evan's lead as a group of friends that we can now turn our focus to, because, they don't have the backing of the Wall Street Journal, the Dow Jones, this groundswell public support, but we want to help provide that. And that's going to be, part of our mission moving forward.
How proud are you of your friend right now, Michael?
Incredibly proud. And in awe, really. I think that's the feeling I've heard from a lot of us friends of his. Just what an incredible, just so proud of him and so in awe.
Well, you both have been steadfast champions for his return, so congratulations to both of you on this moment. I'm sure it's a relief. Jeremy Burke, Michael Van Italy, thank you both so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.